In a world where daily routines often pull us into a haze of repetition, many of us feel adrift, our long-term dreams fading like distant stars. We wake up each morning to the same grind, our potential locked away in the shadows of unfulfilled aspirations. There's a quiet ache inside, a nagging whisper of regret that asks, what if I had pursued more? Picture yourself years from now, looking back at a life that slipped through your fingers like sand, leaving an emptiness that words can't fully capture. This inner void grows when we let time pass without direction, turning possibilities into missed opportunities. Yet, amidst this common struggle, there's a spark of hope, imagination as our greatest ally. As Albert Einstein once said, imagination is everything. It is the preview of life's coming attractions. In a society obsessed with the immediate, your 5-year future is the canvas where your true self can finally shine. But only if you paint it with intention. Too often, we fall into the trap of passive daydreaming, hoping that fate will somehow steer us toward our desires without any real effort. We imagine a better life in fleeting moments, but without structure, those dreams dissolve into disappointment, leaving us stuck in cycles of frustration. Another common pitfall is avoidance, where we dismiss our imagination as unrealistic and cling to the safety of familiar routines, fearing the unknown. Take Sarah, for instance, a 35-year-old office worker who often pictured herself owning a thriving business, yet she never wrote down her ideas or took the first step. Years rolled by, and she remained in the same unfulfilling job, resentment building as she realized life had happened to her, not because of her. Her story is all too relatable, isn't it? We see pieces of ourselves in that quiet defeat, wondering if we're destined for the same. This pattern persists because of deep-seated psychological barriers, like future discounting, where we prioritize short-term comfort over long-term rewards. We tell ourselves stories like, I'm not capable of change, or imagination is just wishful thinking, beliefs that chain us to the present. Fear of failure amplifies this, creating mental blocks that make proactive visualization feel impossible. It's a subtle failure loop without clear, intentional goals. Our actions become reactive and scattered, leading to self-doubt that reinforces our stuckness. For example, someone might accept the first job offer that comes along, not because it's right, but because it's easy, perpetuating a cycle of dissatisfaction. These invisible patterns keep us trapped, not by external forces, but by our own unchallenged thoughts. But here's the turning point. Your future isn't determined by the world around you. It's shaped by the visions you nurture within. This is the second truth, a liberating paradox that elevates imagination from frivolous fancy to a powerful tool for transformation. Neuroscience supports this. When you vividly visualize success, your brain begins to rewire itself, making those dreams more attainable. As Napoleon Hill wisely stated, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Consider J.K. Rowling, who, in the depths of her struggles, intentionally imagined the world of Harry Potter with such detail that it became a reality, inspiring millions. Her story reminds us that even in adversity, a clear, purposeful vision can turn the ordinary into the extraordinary. You, too, hold this potential. It's not reserved for the gifted or the lucky. Let me affirm this for you. You're not broken or meant for a life of mediocrity. You're a creator with an untapped well of imaginative power. Deep inside, there's a divine light waiting to be ignited, a source of resilience that can guide you through any storm. Tap into that inner drive now, letting it fuel your courage and clarity. You don't need perfection or a detailed plan. You just need to begin imagining your future with intention. Today, make that choice. Step into your power and start scripting the life you deserve. Now, let's dive into the specific solution. A step-by-step process to harness intentional imagination and build your 5-year future. The first step is to understand the foundation of intentional imagination, which serves as the bridge between your current reality and your envisioned life. This step matters because it grounds your dreams in psychological science, helping you see imagination as a practical tool for change. To do this, spend 15 to 20 minutes each day journaling about your core values and long-term desires, defining intentional imagination as vivid, purposeful mental rehearsal. For example, Alex, a young professional, wrote down his values like creativity and freedom, then envisioned running his own freelance business in 5 years, which clarified his goals and motivated him to act. Moving to the second step, engage emotionally with your vision to make it feel alive and compelling, as emotions are the fuel that drives manifestation. The purpose here is to connect deeply with your future self, evoking feelings that reinforce your commitment and overcome lingering doubts. Practice guided visualization by closing your eyes for 10 minutes, imagining your 5-year life in rich detail, the sights, sounds, and emotions, and jot down what arises. Take Maria, a parent feeling trapped in routine. She visualized a balanced career and family life, feeling the joy of a promotion and vacations, which helped her stay dedicated despite challenges. Now, for the third step, translate your imagination into tangible actions, breaking free from stagnation by aligning your daily life with your vision. This is crucial because it turns mental rehearsals into real progress, preventing your dreams from remaining abstract. Set SMART goals based on your vision: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Then schedule weekly check-ins to track and adjust your efforts. For instance, after imagining financial independence, Tom committed to saving $500 monthly toward investments, using an app to monitor his progress, turning his 5-year dream into steady milestones. Finally, in the fourth step, refine and reflect on your process over time to sustain momentum and adapt to new insights, avoiding the old failure loops. The purpose is to ensure long-term success by learning from setbacks and keeping your vision dynamic. Every month, review your journal and visualization exercises, reflecting on what's effective and tweaking your 5-year script as life evolves. Alina, an artist, started by imagining a solo exhibit, but, after a workshop, refined it to include collaborations, which kept her motivated and flexible. Through these steps, you're not just dreaming, you're actively crafting a future that resonates with your soul. Remember, scripting your 5-year future through intentional imagination is a proven path to escape stagnation and embrace your true potential. It's about shifting from passive hoping to deliberate creation, understanding your blocks, and taking empowered action. By now, you can feel the transformation stirring within you, ready to turn inner visions into lived realities. Don't let another day slip away in doubt or delay. Pick up your pen of imagination right now and start journaling your 5-year vision. Step into the future you're meant to create, one intentional thought at a time. Your journey begins today. Own it, live it, and watch it unfold. In our fast-paced world, it's all too common to feel lost in the daily grind, where dreams of the future fade into the background like distant stars. You might wake up one day, years from now, and wonder where the time went, gripped by a quiet regret that whispers, "What if I had taken control sooner?" This universal truth hits hard. Many of us live with a gap between our current reality and the life we truly desire, fostering a sense of unfulfilled potential that weighs on the soul. Imagine looking back and realizing that routine overtook aspiration, leaving you with what-ifs instead of achievements. Yet, amidst this, there's a spark. Albert Einstein once said, "Imagination is everything. It is the preview of life's coming attractions." Boldly, I declare, in a society fixated on the now, your 5-year future is your personal masterpiece, waiting to be crafted through intentional imagination. It's not about wishing, it's about deliberately painting a vision that brings your truest self to life. Now, let's explore the common reactions that keep so many trapped in passivity. One major trap is passive daydreaming, where you hope fate will intervene without any real effort, leading to cycle after cycle of disappointment. Another is the avoidance trap, dismissing imagination as mere fantasy and clinging to what's familiar, even if it's unfulfilling. Take Sarah, for instance, a 35-year-old office worker who often pictured herself as a successful entrepreneur but never took the first step. Years slipped by, and she remained in the same job, resentment building as life seemed to happen to her rather than through her choices. This story might resonate with you, evoking empathy for how easy it is to get stuck in these patterns. But why does this happen? Let's deconstruct the psychological logic behind it. At the core is future discounting, a cognitive distortion where we prioritize immediate comfort over long-term gains, fueled by beliefs like, "I'm not capable of real change." Fear of failure amplifies this, turning imagination into something we see as impractical rather than a powerful tool. This creates an invisible failure loop. Without clear, intentional visions, goals remain vague, actions inconsistent, and self-doubt grows stronger. For example, someone might accept the first job offer that comes along, perpetuating unfulfilling patterns without realizing they're self-imposed. It's a cycle that keeps you stagnant, but there's a way out. Shift your perspective to this second truth. Your future isn't determined by your surroundings. It's shaped by the visions you nurture within. Imagination, when used intentionally, is backed by neuroscience. It rewires your brain to make success feel achievable and real. As Napoleon Hill wisely stated, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Consider J.K. Rowling, who, in her darkest moments, vividly imagined the world of Harry Potter, transforming her inner vision into a global legacy. Her story shows how intentional imagination can turn adversity into triumph, igniting your own potential for change. You're not alone in this. Everyone has this creative power inside them. Now, let's ignite that inner fire within you. Affirm this. You're not florid or meant for mediocrity. You're a creator with immense imaginative strength, ready to align your life with your deepest desires. Tap into your intuition, that inner drive that's been dimmed by daily distractions, and let it guide you forward. Everyone possesses this spark. It's time to fan it into a flame. I call you to action. You don't need perfection. You just need to begin imagining your 5-year story today. Watch as this inner fire transforms possibilities into tangible reality, step by empowering step. Here's the specific solution. A practical, 4-step process to script your 5-year future using intentional imagination. Step 1. Understand the foundation. The purpose is to build awareness of how intentional imagination bridges your present and your envisioned future, rooted in psychological science. Action. Dedicate 15 to 20 minutes each day to journaling about your core values and long-term desires. defining intentional imagination as vivid, purposeful mental rehearsal. For example, Alex, a young professional, wrote down his values like creativity and freedom, then envisioned running his own freelance business in 5 years. This clarity became his guiding light. Step 2. Feel the emotional connection. This step's purpose is to make your vision feel alive and motivating, as emotions are the fuel that drives your brain toward manifestation. Action. Engage in guided visualization. Close your eyes for 10 minutes and immerse yourself in the details of your 5-year life, the sights, sounds, and feelings that arise. Like Maria, a parent feeling stuck, who imagined a balanced career and family joy, experiencing the warmth of success and vacations, which helped her commit despite doubts. Step 3. Act on your vision. The purpose here is to translate those mental rehearsals into real progress, breaking free from stagnation by aligning daily actions with your goals. Action. Set SMART goals based on your vision, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound, and schedule weekly check-ins to track and adjust your path. Take Tom, who, after imagining financial independence, committed to saving $500 monthly and used an app to monitor it, turning his dream of early retirement into steady milestones. Step 4. Refine and reflect for sustainability. This step ensures long-term success by adapting your vision to life's changes, preventing old patterns from resurfacing. Action. Every month, review your journal and visualizations, reflect on progress, and tweak your 5-year script based on new insights or challenges. For Alina, an artist, this meant revising her goal from a solo exhibit to include collaborations after a workshop, keeping her motivated and flexible. By following these steps, you're not just dreaming, you're actively building a future that resonates with your core. Remember, intentional imagination is your key to unlocking potential and overcoming the traps we've discussed. In conclusion, scripting your 5-year future isn't wishful thinking. It's a proven pathway to break free from stagnation and embrace your power. Through understanding your blocks, shifting your mindset, and taking deliberate action, you can create a life aligned with your truest self. This process empowers you to turn inner visions into lived experiences, fostering growth and fulfillment every step of the way. Don't underestimate the transformation that awaits when you harness this tool. As you move forward, let go of doubts and step into your role as the architect of your destiny. Your 5-year future is waiting. Start today by journaling that first vision. Remember, every great achievement begins with a single, intentional thought. You've got the power. Now, make it real. Begin now, and watch your imagined world unfold into reality. In our fast-paced world, many of us wake up each day feeling like we're just going through the motions, trapped in routines that leave our dreams gathering dust. It's a universal truth that the gap between where we are and where we want to be can feel like an insurmountable chasm filled with regret and unfulfilled potential. Picture this: years slipping by without a clear direction, leaving you with that nagging whisper of, "What if?" This inner emptiness grows when we let daily distractions overshadow our deeper aspirations, creating a sense of stagnation that weighs heavily on the soul. Albert Einstein once said, "Imagination is everything. It is the preview of life's coming attractions." In a world obsessed with the immediate, your 5-year future is the canvas where your truest self can emerge, but only if you dare to paint it with intention. Let's face it, we've all fallen into the trap of passive daydreaming, hoping that fate will somehow steer us toward our goals without any real effort. This common reaction leads to repeated disappointment, as vague wishes fade into the background of our busy lives. Another trap is avoidance, where we dismiss our imagination as unrealistic and cling to the safety of familiar routines, afraid to step out of our comfort zones. Take Sarah, for example, a 35-year-old office worker who often fantasizes about starting her own business but never takes the first step. Years pass, and she remains in the same unfulfilling job, resenting the life that happened to her rather than the one she could have created. Her story is all too relatable, isn't it? We see pieces of ourselves in that cycle of hope followed by inaction. At the core of this stuckness is a psychological logic called future discounting, where we prioritize short-term comfort over long-term rewards. Unconscious beliefs like "I'm not capable of change" or "imagination is just wishful thinking" hold us back, amplified by the fear of failure. This creates an invisible failure loop. Unclear goals lead to inconsistent actions, which breed self-doubt and reinforce the idea that transformation is impossible. For instance, without scripting a 5-year vision, we make reactive decisions, like accepting the first job offer that comes along, trapping us in patterns we didn't choose. But here's the second truth that can change everything. Your future isn't shaped by what's around you. It's crafted by what you imagine within you. Imagination isn't frivolous. It's a powerful tool backed by neuroscience, rewiring your brain to turn visions into reality. As Napoleon Hill wisely stated, "Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve." Consider J.K. Rowling, who, in the midst of her struggles, intentionally imagined the world of Harry Potter, transforming her vision into a global phenomenon. Her story reminds us that even in adversity, deliberate imagination can ignite opportunities we never thought possible. You, my friend, are not florid or destined for mediocrity. You're a creator with untapped power waiting to be unleashed. Deep inside, you have an inner fire, a divine light of intuition that can guide you through any challenge. It's time to tap into that resilience, to let your imagination light the path forward and bring clarity to your desires. Remember, you don't need to have it all figured out right now. Just start imagining it, and watch your possibilities turn into reality. Today, I invite you to embrace this call to action. Begin scripting your 5-year future with intentional steps that align with your true self. Let's dive into the specific solution, a step-by-step process to make this transformation real. First, in step 1, understand the foundation of intentional imagination, because awareness is the key to bridging your current life and your dreamed future. The purpose here is to ground your abstract ideas in psychological science, showing how vivid mental rehearsal can clarify your path. Your action. Spend 15 to 20 minutes each day journaling about your core values and long-term desires, defining intentional imagination as purposeful visualization. For example, take Alex, a young professional who writes down his values like creativity and freedom, then envisions running his own freelance business in 5 years. This simple practice helps him grasp how imagination turns vague dreams into clear, actionable goals. Moving to step 2. Feel the emotional depth of your vision, as emotions are the fuel that makes your future feel alive and attainable. The purpose is to connect deeply with your future self, harnessing the brain's power to manifest change through heartfelt engagement. Your action. Practice guided visualization by closing your eyes for 10 minutes, vividly imagining your 5-year life with all its sights, sounds, and feelings, and note the emotions that surface. Just like Maria, a parent feeling stuck, who pictures a balanced career and family life, feeling the joy of a promotion and shared vacations. This emotional connection, as in Maria's case, helps overcome doubts, and keeps you committed to your vision. Now, step 3. Act on your imagination, translating those mental rehearsals into tangible steps to break free from stagnation. The purpose is to align your daily actions with your 5-year dream, turning potential into progress. Your action: set SMART goals based on your vision: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound, and schedule weekly check-ins to track and adjust your progress. Think of Tom, who, after imagining financial independence, commits to saving $500 monthly and uses an app to monitor it, inching closer to early retirement. Over time, these small, consistent actions transform your scripted future from a dream into a lived reality. Finally, step 4. Refine and reflect to sustain your journey, ensuring your vision evolves and prevents old patterns from creeping back. The purpose is to learn from setbacks and adapt, keeping your 5-year script dynamic and resilient. Your action: every month, review your journal and visualization exercises, reflecting on what's working and tweaking your vision based on new insights or challenges. For Alina, an artist, this meant starting with a solo exhibit in mind, but refining it to include collaborations after a workshop, staying motivated and adaptable. Through this ongoing process, you'll maintain the momentum needed to script a future that's truly yours. In wrapping up, remember that scripting your 5-year future with intentional imagination is more than wishful thinking. It's a proven path to break free from the traps that hold you back. By understanding your blocks, shifting your mindset, and taking deliberate steps, you can create a life aligned with your deepest desires. You've got the power within you to turn inner visions into extraordinary reality. So, don't wait for life to happen to you. Pick up your pen of imagination right now. Start journaling your 5-year vision today, and step boldly into the future you're meant to create. Your transformation begins with one intentional thought, and from there the possibilities are endless. In a world where the hustle of daily life often drowns out our deeper dreams, many of us feel adrift, caught in routines that leave our true potential untapped. Picture the quiet ache of waking up years from now, realizing that time has slipped through your fingers like sand, with unfulfilled aspirations echoing in the background. This nagging sense of regret isn't rare. It's a universal truth that touches millions, creating a gap between where we are and where we long to be. We chase immediate tasks, letting long-term visions fade into the fog of busyness, only to feel that inner emptiness grow louder with each passing day. Albert Einstein once declared, "Imagination is everything. It is the preview of life's coming attractions." In this moment, embrace this bold truth. Your 5-year future is a canvas waiting for your brush, but it demands intentional strokes to bring it to life. Too often, we fall into the trap of passive daydreaming, hoping that fate will somehow steer us toward our goals without any real effort on our part. This leads to repeated disappointment, as vague wishes float away like clouds, never taking root in reality. Another common pitfall is the avoidance trap, where we dismiss our imagination as impractical, clinging to the safety of familiar routines instead. Take Sarah, for instance, a 35-year-old office worker who often daydreams about launching her own business but never commits it to paper or takes the first step. Years slip by, and she remains in the same unfulfilling job, resentment building as she realizes life has happened to her, not because of her. This cycle is all too relatable, isn't it? We see pieces of ourselves in stories like Sarah's, feeling the weight of missed opportunities. At the heart of this stagnation lies a psychological distortion known as future discounting, where we prioritize short-term comfort over long-term rewards. Unconscious beliefs whisper lies like, "I'm not capable of real change," or "imagination is just futile wishing," holding us back from even trying. Fear of failure amplifies this, creating mental blocks that make proactive visualization seem impossible. This forms an invisible failure loop. Without clear, intentional imagination, our goals stay murky, leading to inconsistent actions and deepening self-doubt. For example, without scripting a 5-year vision, we might accept the first job offer that comes along, locking ourselves into patterns that feel inescapable. Over time, these self-imposed limits become our reality, perpetuating a cycle of inertia that we barely notice until it's too late. But here's the second truth that can shatter these chains. Your future isn't determined by your current circumstances. It's shaped by the visions you nurture within. Imagination isn't frivolous. It's a powerful tool, backed by neuroscience, that rewires your brain to pursue and achieve what you envision. As Napoleon Hill wisely said, "Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve." Consider J.K. Rowling, who, in the depths of personal struggle, intentionally imagined the world of Harry Potter with vivid detail, transforming her vision into a global legacy. Her story reminds us that even in adversity, purposeful imagination can ignite extraordinary change, proving that your dreams are the seeds of your reality. You are not broken or destined for a life of mediocrity. You possess an untapped power of imagination that can redefine your path. Deep within you lies a spark of intuition and drive, a divine light dimmed by the distractions of everyday life, but ready to blaze brightly once more. It's time to call forth that inner fire, to recognize the creator within who can script a future aligned with your deepest desires. You don't need perfection or all the answers right now, just the courage to begin imagining what could be. Today, make a declaration. I will own my 5-year story, turning possibility into the reality I deserve. Let's break this down into practical steps, starting with understanding the foundation of intentional imagination. The purpose of this first step is to build awareness of how intentional imagination bridges your present self to your envisioned future, rooted in psychological science. Your action. Spend 15 to 20 minutes each day journaling about your core values and long-term desires, defining intentional imagination as vivid, purposeful mental rehearsal. For example, like Alex, a young professional who writes down his values of creativity and freedom, then envisions running his own freelance business in 5 years. This practice helps clarify your goals, making abstract dreams feel grounded and achievable. Moving to the second step, engaging emotionally with your vision. The purpose here is to connect deeply with your future self, as emotions amplify the brain's ability to manifest change and keep you motivated. Your action. Practice guided visualization by closing your eyes for 10 minutes, vividly imagining your 5-year life with all its sights, sounds, and feelings. Then note the emotions that surface. Take Maria, a parent feeling stuck, who pictures a balanced career and family life, experiencing the joy of a promotion and shared vacations. This emotional immersion overcomes doubts, turning your vision into a compelling force that guides your daily choices. Now, for the third step, translating that imagination into tangible actions. The purpose is to escape stagnation by aligning your everyday decisions with your 5-year script, creating real momentum. Your action. Set SMART goals based on your vision, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Then schedule weekly check-ins to track and adjust your progress. Just as Tom did after imagining financial independence, by committing to save $500 monthly and monitoring it through an app. turning his dream into step-by-step milestones. This step bridges the gap between mind and matter, making your imagined future a lived experience. Finally, the fourth step: refine and reflect to sustain your progress over time. The purpose is to adapt your vision as life evolves, learning from setbacks to prevent falling back into old patterns. Your action. Every month, review your journal and visualization exercises, reflecting on what's working and tweaking your 5-year script based on new insights. For Alina, an artist, this meant revising her initial dream of a solo exhibit to include collaborations after attending a workshop, keeping her path dynamic and inspiring. Through regular reflection, your imagination stays vibrant, evolving with you for long-term success. In essence, scripting your 5-year future through intentional imagination is more than wishful thinking. It's a transformative process that breaks free from traps and empowers your true self. By understanding your blocks, shifting your mindset, and taking deliberate steps, you're not just dreaming, you're actively creating a life of fulfillment. Remember, the power lies within you, waiting to be unleashed. Don't wait for circumstances to change. Seize the moment and start today. Pick up your pen of imagination right now, journal your 5-year vision, and step boldly into the future you're destined to create. Your transformation begins with this one intentional thought, and from there, the possibilities are endless. In the hustle of everyday life, many of us feel like we're just going through the motions, chasing deadlines instead of our dreams. That nagging sense of unfulfilled potential creeps in, whispering doubts about what could have been if we'd only taken a different path. Picture yourself waking up 5 years from now, realizing that time has slipped away like sand through your fingers, leaving a void of regret. It's a universal truth. We all face the gap between where we are and where we truly want to be, often feeling stuck in routines that drain our spirit. This inner emptiness grows when we ignore our deeper aspirations, allowing daily distractions to overshadow our long-term vision. Imagine looking back and wondering, what if I had dared to imagine a better future? As Albert Einstein wisely said, imagination is everything. It is the preview of life's coming attractions. In a world fixated on the now, your 5-year future is your personal canvas, waiting for you to paint it with purpose and intention. But how do we bridge that gap? It starts by recognizing that imagination isn't just daydreaming. It's a powerful tool for transformation. Let's explore this together, step by step, so you can script a future that resonates with your soul. One common reaction is passive daydreaming, where we hope for change without any real effort, relying on fate to steer our course. This trap leaves us disappointed time and again, as vague wishes rarely turn into reality without structured action. Another is the avoidance trap, where we dismiss our dreams as unrealistic and cling to the safety of our current routines. Take Sarah, for instance, a 35-year-old office worker who often fantasized about starting her own business but never took the first step. Years passed, and she remained in the same unfulfilling job, resenting the life that seemed to happen to her rather than by her design. Her story is all too relatable, isn't it? We've all had moments where we let fear hold us back from even trying. This cycle of inaction breeds frustration, making us feel like victims of circumstance instead of architects of our destiny. Now, let's dig deeper into why we get stuck in these patterns. The psychological logic behind it often involves future discounting, where we prioritize short-term comfort over long-term rewards. Unconscious beliefs like, I'm not capable of change, or imagination is just wishful thinking, keep us anchored in place. Fear of failure amplifies this, creating mental blocks that make proactive visualization seem impossible. This leads to an invisible failure loop. Unclear goals result in inconsistent actions, which foster self-doubt and reinforce stagnation. For example, without a clear 5-year vision, we might accept the first job offer that comes along, trapping ourselves in patterns we didn't choose. It's a self-imposed prison, built from habits and thoughts we barely notice until it's too late. But here's the shift. Your future isn't determined by your current surroundings. It's shaped by the visions you nurture inside. Imagination becomes a tool for manifestation, backed by neuroscience that shows visualizing success can rewire your brain for achievement. This is the second truth. What you imagine with intention can become your reality. As Napoleon Hill put it, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Consider J.K. Rowling, who in her darkest days intentionally imagined the world of Harry Potter, turning her vision into a global success. Her story reminds us that even in adversity, focused imagination can ignite extraordinary change. You, too, have that power within you. It's time to awaken it. Remember, you're not flawed or destined for mediocrity. You're a creator with immense imaginative potential. Tap into your inner drive, that spark of intuition that's been waiting for you to notice it amidst life's chaos. Everyone has this divine light inside, even if it's been dimmed by distractions and doubts. So, let's ignite that fire. Declare today that you're ready to script your 5-year future with purpose. You don't need perfection, just the courage to begin imagining what could be. This is your call to action. Start small, but start now, and watch your possibilities transform into reality. Now, let's move to the specific solution, a step-by-step guide to harnessing intentional imagination. We'll break it down into 4 practical steps, following the understand, feel, act model, to make this process clear and achievable. Step 1. Understand the foundation of intentional imagination. The purpose of this step is to build awareness of how intentional imagination bridges your current life to your 5-year vision, rooted in psychological science. To do this, spend 15 to 20 minutes each day journaling about your core values and long-term desires, defining intentional imagination as vivid, purposeful mental rehearsal. For example, Alex, a young professional, wrote down his values like creativity and freedom, then envisioned running his own freelance business in 5 years. This helped Alex clarify his goals, turning abstract ideas into a tangible roadmap. By understanding this, you're laying the groundwork for real change, making your dreams feel within reach. Step 2. Feel the emotional connection to your vision. The purpose here is to engage your emotions, as they make your future self feel real and drive the motivation needed for manifestation. Practice guided visualization. Close your eyes for 10 minutes and vividly imagine your 5-year life, including sights, sounds, and feelings, while noting any emotions. For instance, Maria, a parent feeling stuck, pictured a balanced career and family life, experiencing the joy of a promotion and vacations together. This emotional depth helped Maria overcome her doubts, fueling her commitment to pursue that vision. When you feel it, your imagination becomes a powerful force that propels you forward. Step 3. Act on your imagination with tangible steps. The purpose is to break free from stagnation by turning mental rehearsals into real-world progress. Set SMART goals based on your vision: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Then schedule weekly check-ins to track and adjust. Take Tom, who imagined financial independence. He set a goal to save $500 monthly and used an app to monitor his progress toward early retirement. Over time, these actions turned Tom's dream into achievable milestones, proving that imagination without action is just a fantasy. Step 4. Refine and reflect to sustain your progress. The purpose is to ensure long-term success by adapting your vision and learning from setbacks, keeping the failure loop at bay. Every month, review your journal and visualizations, reflecting on what's working and tweaking your 5-year script based on new insights. For example, Alina, an artist, started with a solo exhibit in mind but refined it to include collaborations after a workshop, staying motivated and adaptable. As you refine, your vision evolves, making it more resilient and aligned with your growth. In wrapping up, remember that scripting your 5-year future through intentional imagination is a proven path to break free from stagnation. It's about embracing your power, understanding your blocks, shifting your mindset, and taking deliberate steps toward a life you truly desire. Don't wait for life to dictate your story. Pick up your pen of imagination today and start journaling your vision. Your transformation begins with that one intentional thought, turning possibility into your lived reality.